Good morning and welcome to another video. Today we're going on a little free library tour because that is one of the cards that I pulled for my TBR here, was to go on a little free library tour. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I mean, a little free library tour is great. The cat. But to make it even better, there's a cat. Okay. Can you move? Thank you. Okay, he's just gonna be like right there. To make it even better, I have a book outlet order coming, and originally I was gonna do a whole separate like book haul, but I think I'm just gonna tack that onto here. After we go check out a bunch of little free libraries, I'll show you what I got there. I'll show you what I got in my book outlet order, assuming it actually comes. It was supposed to come on Friday, I think, and it's Tuesday. It still hasn't come, but I think it's coming today. And then I have a couple books to like officially haul and show you that I bought. So that's what we're gonna do. I was hoping one of my kids would come with me on the little free library tour, help film, look through things. Cats are disastrous. I know they're supposed to be like agile. I think I have the klutziest cat in existence. Anyway, I was hoping one of my kids would come, but one is busy. They both have things they want to do, so that's totally fine. We'll just do this together. Temperature wise, I think we're doing way better today than the last time I did a little free library tour. I did one for my Patreon a few months ago, and I think it was like minus 40, very cold. I think today we're sitting just below freezing, so much better. Although it definitely doesn't feel like spring is just around the corner here quite yet. Okay, I made it back. The snow slash slightly ice pellets and a mix of like really big snowflakes is increasing. My boots are wet, so therefore my feet are wet. They're nice looking boots, but they don't keep out the snow. So when I go for a walk later, I'm definitely wearing my full-on winter boots. I feel like I should explain my Little Free Library philosophy before I show you the books that I got, because I don't always just pick up books that I really want to read necessarily. I kind of see myself as a little bit of a Little Free Library curator slash organizer. The second last Little Free Library that I showed was just packed. So I took some books, and I don't have them on the stack here even. I mean, I have some of them, but some of them I took out. I already own. I might put in my Little Free Library. I might, I don't know, do something else with them. It was so full, I was taking them out to look for books, and the books were falling because there's snow everywhere, and so I just took a bunch of them out to make it easier for future people. And yeah, with Little Free Libraries, I'm always willing to take out books that I haven't necessarily heard anything about, because if I look it up and I decide I don't like it, I can put it in my Little Free Library, I can do something else with it. So in no particular order, here are the books that I took out that I have not already read / do not already own. The first one is The Unwanteds. Now this is funny because I was just tagged on a post on Instagram where someone thought I had recommended this book, but I'd never really even heard of it. And then I saw it in the Little Free Library, and I was like, and that was the one that was overflowing, so I figured I would grab it. This is apparently the Hunger Games meets Harry Potter. And my daughter likes both of those books / series, so I thought I would look it up and potentially pass it on to her. I did just look it up, and it seems okay. So there's that. It definitely needs to be cleaned. It's a bit dirty. So this is middle grade fantasy, I'm assuming. Then I saw Call It Courage, and this is a Newbery Medal winner. And I feel like I've heard this title before, but I don't know anything about this book. It's super short. So I thought, I don't understand where this is set. Is the Newbery just American books? Oh, this is in Polynesia. Happened many years ago, before the traders and missionaries first came into the South Seas, while the Polynesians were still great in number and fierce of heart. I have no idea, but I thought maybe I would try that. Then I saw a Joe Abercrombie, Half a King. I have no idea if this is in a series. I don't know if I will like this book, this author. I just know his name because Murphy talks about him a lot. I love her videos. My reading taste is so very different than hers. But I was like, oh, I've heard of it. I'll check it out, grab it, research it, see if it's something I actually want to read. Don't know anything about it. I'm assuming it's like adult fantasy, probably. Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird, in the same edition that we definitely read this from in high school. And almost perfect condition. There's just like a little bit here. It doesn't even look like it's been read. So I don't think we own this book yet. And it's one I want my daughter to read in the next few years. So that was cool. Then I found Colleen Coble's 3 Missing Days. So I do, ow, cat claws, ow, get your paw, ouch, okay. I read book 1. You can jump up, just don't claw me. I read book 1 a while ago. It's called One Little Lie, and I enjoyed it. The main character, cat, leave that alone. The main character grew up kind of in a cult and escaped that, so I really liked that element. And then she became a detective or something, and so there's mystery elements. So I need to read book 2 yet, and then this is book 3 in the series. So there's that one. And then I found another Revel book, which can be hit or miss for me. So it's supposed to be Christian fiction. This is Honor Bound, and I'm assuming this is like Christian romantic suspense, which is usually, this is something I read a lot in high school, not so much anymore. But I thought I would grab it. Once again, doesn't really matter if I don't read it. And then this is a book I need to look up. I don't know anything about it. What's it called? The Match. But it has to do with a DNA match. And oh, this book has a scent to it. And I don't even know what kind of scent. Is that why you're here, kitty? Is that what you're smelling? It so is, isn't it? This has to do something with this guy. Oh, it smells. I'm gonna hold it here. There's a DNA match online in an online ancestry database, which brings him closer to his past than he's ever dreamed. And I'm just gonna hold it far away. Put it somewhere to get that smell off. How do you get the smell out of books? Yeah, we've been doing, a couple months ago, we did DNA testing for my son who's adopted. And so it just has, you know, different things that are applicable to my life. So it seemed like maybe something, the topic sounded interesting. I don't know anything else. How about that? I'm still waiting for my book outlet order. I think I'm gonna go for a walk. It looks like right now it's not snowing quite as much. So we'll see. I like walking in the snow though, so I think it will be good. And we will just continue a bookish date. My book outlet order has arrived. I have a couple other books to haul, so I thought we would just do a haul. I have to turn off my fireplace because it makes so much noise, which is unfortunate. So normally I don't get the this large of a size of a book outlet box, but some of the books that I bought were very big compared to other ones, although some of them are middle grade, so some of them are smaller. We will see. I will leave my book outlet code in the description. I will say I've been having problems with book outlet for the last 6 months. People try to use my code, and hopefully they have it figured out now, because I think there's been some complaining and I think maybe they have it sorted. If you use my referral link, if you've never placed an order before, you get $5 off your first order, and then I get $5 off my next order. But it's been flagging people. It thinks that I'm placing orders, but everyone's like lives in a different country or a different state or a different province. I don't understand what they're thinking. But anyway, if you've never ordered from Book Outlet before, they have really cheap books. That's why I like them, even if it can be a hassle to get the $5 off. Yes, I've been ordering from them for a while, and I really like the price of their books, I guess. The selection is hit and miss because they have overstock books, but let's see if this box will actually open well. I do wish they would have different boxes. These ones you can't reuse, and it didn't work all the way. I have been in a very big historical fiction mood for the most part this month. My order, I feel like, reflects that, or just historical. We're just gonna pull books out and we'll go from there. The first one I got was the Skylark's War. I think this is World War II, possibly set in England. Don't really know anything about it. What's our main character's name? I can't tell. Clary Penrose finds the good in everyone, even in her father, who isn't fond of children, especially girls. He doesn't worry about her education because he knows she won't need it. It's nearly the 20th century and the only thing girls are expected to do is behave. Oh, okay, so this is a different war than I was thinking. Apparently it was previously titled Love to Everyone. But I've seen this on Book Outlet for a while. Illustrations drew me in. Middle grade, historical fiction. Let's see if we can read the first sentence. More than 100 years ago, in the time of gas lamps and candlelight, when shops had wooden counters and the streets were full of horses, a baby girl was born. Oh, interesting. And then there's like an error right in the next sentence. It said nobody was pleased about this except the baby's mother. But look at that. There's a space between the PL and the rest of the word there. Come on. Interesting. That might be why this one was discounted, but the rest of it all seems fine. So there's that one. Then going to 1989 historical fiction, I got I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys. This came out last year. I really loved it. Love all her historical fiction. This one is set in Romania during the civil war that they had going on, and it is YA. Our main character is 17 and he is given the choice to either get medicine for his ailing grandfather, and in order to do so he needs to spy on like his friends and family. This is the secret police is giving him this option. Or in his mind he could betray the secret police. So he has to figure out what to do. This book, so very good. I'm so glad that I can have this for my shelves. Oh, let's see if I can remember, because I sometimes start this and I don't remember. I'm going to see if I can remember to read the first sentence of each one. They lived in darkness. Wow, that's an intense first sentence. It's kind of the prologue. The first chapter, first sentence says, fear arrived at 5 o'clock. Also a really good first sentence. Oh, this is fun. I got Agatha Christie, an autobiography. I love Agatha Christie. Oh, it's got pictures. It's got pictures. Where'd they go? I love Agatha Christie, so I was really excited to have this one on Book Outlet. This is her mother, Agatha Christie's mother, wearing her wedding dress in about 1877. What? And so this is written by Agatha Christie. This is Agatha Christie as a child. This is a painting. What? That is so cool. Come on. Look at that. I did not know there was going to be pictures. Oh, this is terrifying. I would have nightmares if this was my nurse. You would have nightmares too if this was your nurse. What? She's scary. She's so scary. What did she think after she saw this painting of herself? Who would hire this as a nurse for their child? Oh my goodness. This is probably why Agatha Christie went out to write mystery novels. I could see this lady being the guilty party. Wow. Okay, well I'm not going to look at all the pictures, except I am, but I'm going to stop myself. So this is an autobiography written by Agatha Christie. When did she write it? Does it say? There's a foreword. 1977 is the copyright. So I don't know if that's exactly when she wrote it or what. I feel like that's pretty close to when she died. The first sentence of this one says, one of the luckiest things that can happen to you in life is to have a happy childhood. Does that include Nursey? Because Nursey is terrifying. Okay, cool. Agatha Christie as well. I got They Do It With Mirrors. So they are reprinting the Miss Marple, or like this is an edition Miss Marple books with flowers. I think they're all poisonous flowers, and then there's always something to do with the story on it. So I have a few of these already. If I was really rich, I would just buy them all, but I can kind of only do it a little bit at a time. I don't think I've read this one yet. So Miss Marple senses danger when she visits a friend living in Stony Gates, a rehabilitation center. Her fears are confirmed when someone shoots at the administrator. Although he's not injured, a mysterious visitor is less fortunate, shot dead simultaneously in another part of a building. Oh, I think I own this in a different edition. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Either way, I wanted the Miss Marple ones in this edition. Let's try this first sentence. Oh, it has a floor plan of the residential quarters and whatever of this place. Mrs. Van Rydock moved a little back from the mirror and sighed. Well, it doesn't catch me as much as some of these other ones, but it's Agatha Christie, so it's gonna be good. Then I got A Single Shard by Linda Sue Park. This is the 20th anniversary. Wow. And it is the Newbery Medal winner. So this one is historical fiction, I think. When Tree Ear breaks a ceramic masterpiece, he works to repay a debt to the gruff potter Min. Tree Ear dreams of someday making beautiful pots himself and is crushed to learn that while homeless orphans can perform back-breaking labor, they cannot become potters. I definitely, as I've been wanting to read more historical fiction, have been realizing, you know, there's gaps, and I wanted to read more Asian fiction, but also South American. That is really hard to find. Let's find the first sentence. They have Linda Sue Park's Newbery Award acceptance speech in here. That's cool. It says, a small village on the west coast of Korea, mid to late 12th century. The first sentence is a tree ear. That one doesn't tell me much. But that's a time period that I haven't really read anything about. Okay, then I have 3 books that are part of a series that I should just do at the same time. So, which order? I think, is this number 3? Why don't they have numbers? Well, I was getting Alison Weir's Tudor Queens, and of course they only had the last 3. So, Catherine Howard, The Scandalous Queen. I feel like this is book 3. Oh yeah, okay, this one's book 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. So I'm gonna do this in no particular order apparently. Catherine Howard, let's see this first sentence. So I have always been fascinated by King Henry VIII. Scary, but fascinated. And so you know the rhyme about his 6 wives, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. So if she was number 5, oh, she was beheaded. That's too bad. Catherine was 7 when her mother died, is our first sentence there. So now we will go back to Queen 4. So he married 2 Catherines in a row. Queen 4 was Jane Seymour, the haunted queen. So he would have divorced her. I tried, oh, this dust jacket is unfortunately all mangled. I tried to find book 1. I've requested it from the library. I tried to look at it on Amazon and it's like $91 or something Canadian. Maybe they don't make the hardcover anymore. A Health to the Bride is the first sentence on that one. And then the 6th queen was Catherine Parr, and she's the one that survived. And her first sentence is, Catherine was 5 when death cast its black shadow over her life. Oh, interesting time. I read the next sentence. It was a terrible time of fear and grief when the dread plague known as the sweating sickness ravaged London. So that's number 6, number 5, number 4. So need to read and get my hands on 1, 2, 3. But I'm excited because this is a time in history that I'm interested in. Only a couple more. Oh, another Agatha Christie, 450 from Paddington. This one is one of my favorites. I thought I owned this one already. I own it in a different edition. Did I not buy it in this edition? I don't remember. I've since placed another book outlet order. Now they're all getting jumbled. This one is definitely one of my favorite, Miss Marple. It's all about a woman that's on a train, and then as she's looking out her window, another train pulls up for a brief moment and then passes on, and she thinks she sees a murder during that time, and there's no body. So no one believes her, but Miss Marple does. The first sentence is, Mrs. Gilcuddy panted along the platform in the wake of the potter carrying her suitcase. That was a really good one. Okay, 2 more. Winnie's Great War. This is a novel based on the true story of the world's most famous bear. So Winnie was originally from Manitoba, right? And then, so on August 24th, 1914, she met Lieutenant Harry Colburn. He named her Winnie and made her the mascot of the 2nd Canadian Infantry Brigade. Together they crossed the ocean to where the Great War raged. So this is World War I. And so this is the story. It's got a couple illustrations. Oh, cool. This looks fairly young for middle grade. So first, oh, and a map. Well, the first sentence here says, do you want to hear the story of your bear? But the actual first story, there's the woods. In the middle of the woods was a tree, and at the bottom of the tree was a hole, and out of the hole poked a big black pad of a nose, which sniffed the air to see whether anyone was around. I'm gonna have to read this one really soon. It is still middle grade March. And the last one is another middle grade historical fiction about the Korean War, Finding Junie Kim. I just got this one out from the library, but then I saw that it has really good reviews on Goodreads, and this was on Book Outlet, so I'm like, I gotta buy it. This is a riveting novel about family, hope, and survival, inspired by her mother's real-life experiences during the Korean War. Ooh. And the first sentence is, August is still the summertime. Very curious about that one. It has a really cute cover too. That was all my book outlet books, but then I had a couple more here that I'm just gonna show you so I can put them on my shelves. The first one is Iceberg by Jennifer A. Nielsen. I just did a vlog for Patreon this last weekend, and I read this and I really did enjoy it. So it's a story of the Titanic, and it's a middle grade story where our main character, her name is Hazel. She wants to be a journalist. She stows away on the Titanic because she doesn't have the money to get on the ship, but she's got to get to the States, and she's looking for a story. So all my thoughts on the book will be coming at the end of April when I do my March wrap-up, but this was a really good one by Jennifer A. Nielsen. She writes really good middle grade historical fiction. Then this one I forgot to share a very long time ago in a book haul, A Painted House by John Grisham. I think I got this in a little free library a while ago, and I don't know why I picked it up. Oh, I already forgot to read the first sentence. Okay, backtrack. In the end, in those final minutes before the Titanic sank into its grave, some people would jump overboard, taking their chances in the icy water. Talk about just jumping right in, right off the bat there. This might have been I might have just picked it up because I was trying to make space in little free libraries. I already talked about my philosophy with little free libraries, I'm not really sure. But this one is, until that September of 1952, Luke Chandler had never kept a secret or told a single lie. But in the long hot summer of his 7th year, 2 groups of migrant workers and 2 very dangerous men came through the Arkansas Delta to work the Chandler cotton farm. And suddenly mysteries are flooding Luke's world. I have a few John Grisham books, I think all of which have come from little free libraries. I still haven't read any of them. So bad. I need to read them to see if I should continue to collect them. The Hill people and the Mexicans arrived on the same day. So there's that. Then I talked about this book a little while ago, The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax. I read it out of a terrible edition. I have a whole video, well, I didn't talk about the cover for the whole video, but I did expand on that a bit. This is a cozy espionage story, I'll call it, and this cover is a lot better than the cover that I read it from the library. Thoroughly enjoyed this. It's funny. I had so much fun. I want to continue the series. And then back in February, I think it was already, a bunch of BookTube ladies were doing a BookTube retreat. So there was Krista, there was Amanda, there was Lindsay, and there was Sarah. They asked me to speak on a panel about BookTube and BookTube balance and running a channel, etc. And then as a thank you, they sent me a book from my wish list, which was Babel. And this is a fantasy story that I've been hearing a lot about lately, and I've been curious. And I was really in a fantasy mood in February. Now I'm in a historical fiction mood, so I'm just leaning into it, and then when next time I'm in a fantasy mood, I'm gonna pick this up. But I don't really know anything about it. It's fantasy somehow based off of Babel. I don't know anything. Let's read a little bit in the inside here. It says, 1828, Robin Swift, orphaned by cholera in Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lovell. There, Robin trains for years in Latin, Ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in the Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. The Tower and its students are the world's center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Silverworking, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power as arcane craft serves Empire's quest for colonization. Interesting. I didn't know what this was about. Author's note, Book 1, Chapter 1. By the time Professor Richard Lovell, I still need to figure out how to pronounce that, found his way through Canton's narrow alleys to the faded address in his diary, the boy was the only one in the house left alive. Okay. Definitely gonna reread this the next time I have that fantasy craving. So So I think this has gotten to be quite a long video. For those of you that have made it this far, you're committed. I appreciate you very much. I think for the next month-ish, I'm going to be experimenting with my videos and doing more like this, like vlog, multi-purpose videos, and then just posting once a week. So that's my plan going forward. There might be some exceptions, but now you have a little bit of warning of what's probably coming most of the time. I appreciate each and every one of you.